After the fall of Jerusalem in 1099, the Ummah was shattered. The Crusaders marched through the streets with blood up to their ankles. Cities that once flourished under Muslim rule fell one after another. But the truth is, the Crusaders didn't win because they were strong. They won because the Muslims were divided. Four major powers split the region: the Seljuks, the Fatimids, the various Syrian emirates, and tribal warlords seeking power. Every leader wanted glory. Everyone wanted land. No one cared about unity. Jerusalem was not lost in one day. It was lost over decades of internal conflict. But in the middle of chaos, a seed was planted in Mosul. A man rose with a vision different from all others. His name was Imad ad-Din Zengi. He was not perfect. He was fierce, hard, and sometimes brutal. But he understood one truth that no one else saw. Without unity, the Muslim world will never rise again. He didn't focus on Jerusalem first. He didn't fight the Crusaders immediately. Instead, he fought something far more dangerous: division. He began uniting the scattered cities one by one, fortress by fortress, region by region, not with blind violence, but with strategy, alliances, and calculated power. This was the first step toward the historic revival, but his mission would not be completed by him. When Zengi died, people thought the dream of unity had died with him, but they were wrong. His son, Nur ad-Din Zengi, took the seed planted by his father and turned it into a growing tree. Nur ad-Din was not just a warrior. He was a scholar, a builder, a reformer, a man of deep spirituality. He had a vision: a united Ummah under justice, knowledge, and strength. He built schools. He built hospitals. He built courts of justice. He built armies trained not just with weapons, but with discipline and purpose. And most importantly, he united heart cities that had been enemies for decades, now stood under one banner. For the first time in generations, the Muslims began to believe that unity was possible. Nur ad-Din understood something that changed history. You cannot free Jerusalem until you free the people from corruption, ignorance, and internal war. So he worked from the inside out, reforming leaders, strengthening education, purifying intention, disciplining armies, uniting scholars, generals, and rulers. He didn't rush. He didn't seek personal glory. He sought stability. Because unity was not a miracle. It was a process, and that process was working. A land rich in resources, once powerful, now weak, and controlled by a fading dynasty. Nur ad-Din sent his general, a man young in age but strong in heart. His name was Salahuddin Yusuf ibn Ayyub. But this story is not yet his. This is the story of everything that made him possible. Salahuddin's rise was not an accident. It was the result of decades of preparation. The unity of the Ummah was not a gift. It was built by hands that worked long before him. By the time Salahuddin entered Egypt, the foundations were ready. A unified Syria, a reformed military, a strong economy, motivated scholars, disciplined army, a population revived in faith and identity. The machine of unity was fully built. Salahuddin would soon be the commander who used it. But make no mistake, the unity of the Muslims was forged by Zengi and perfected by Nur ad-Din. Without them, the story of Salahuddin could never be written. By the time Salahuddin entered Egypt, the foundations were ready. A unified Syria, a reformed military, a strong economy, motivated scholars, disciplined armies, a population revived in faith and identity. The machine of unity was fully built. Salahuddin would soon be the commander who used it. But make no mistake, the unity of the Muslims was forged by Zengi and perfected by Nur ad-Din. Without them, the story of Salahuddin could never be written.